hustling. Hustling on down, hustling the street. Rag man, rag woman, paper bags full. Street age alerts in tenant child's eyes. Sidewalk playgrounds got to beware. Junk man's in the shadows, stealing his junk.
I think that it's time for us to really seriously look at hemp as the energy source that it is. I just think it's time. I don't care who we are in the different aspects of the movements, causes, or any other thing. I think if we're not going to give up our addiction to materialism, then we should seriously, I'm talking about us. I'm not just talking about the bad guys. Those of us who are addicted to materialism, and we all are to some degree, all right, and if we can't change that addiction to materialism, what we can do is we can change the energy, all right, that is used to generate it to a friendlier, healthier energy. And for us, looking at hemp, and this is one of the energies. I'm focusing on hemp. This can be, there are many other things, but I'm focusing on hemp, all right, in the sense that hemp, an acre of hemp will make like 50 barrels of oil. You know what I mean? Let's think about this. We hear the sloganeering from, we hear the sloganeering about a green economy and alternative energy, and we hear a lot of people talking about a lot of fantasies and a lot of stuff, but things that could be made into a dream, dreams that could be turned into a reality. So you look at just the land base itself. Hemp is earth friendly. You don't have to buy the seeds, which is one of the reasons it's kind of, right? But you don't have to buy the seeds, it seeds itself. In a world that's been, because they were talking about the greatest catastrophes, catastrophes that have happened in America, environmental catastrophes man caused. The number 2 thing is the deforestation of America when they're talking about environmental disasters. All right, but hemp could replenish the air, and it's every year it can replenish it. And you can cut it down, and you can make barrels of oil out of it. You can make food out of it. It's got the protein, it's healthy in every kind of way. See, so it's something that you can consume the entire product, and it's not harmful to the environment. Then I'm not talking about marijuana. I'm talking about, let's get over this hemp and marijuana thing. Let's respect what hemp really is, because it is an earth medicine. I mean, in practical terms, how many people that live on land, farmers, how many people that live with the land aren't making it? They're so far in debt, all right? They're prisoners. They're being held economic prisoners on land. And they may be kicked off the land or at any time. How many people live within that reality? Right? Whereas, turn a significant portion of this land base over into a hemp economy. It's healthy to the earth, all right? It's people generated. It creates an economy. It creates an economy. It creates work. Up until the mid-1880s, hemp was the largest cultivated crop on the planet. Up until the mid-1880s, it was the largest cultivated crop on this planet. And then it started diminishing, but you notice it started diminishing with the emergence of oil? Because it could do everything that oil could do, but it could do it cleaner. But the problem was, anybody could grow the hemp, but the oil, only a few could get access to the oil. So this is why they cut down the trees. This is why, and oil's not going to go away, because it's just not. But the deal is, because I hear this, whether they're from the right or the left, whether we're the ones that are complaining about the bad guys or the bad guys themselves saying, well, we got to reduce America's dependency on foreign oil. Well, hey, well then let's do it. Because because I look at it, because just on my own personal attitude on it, I think if the environmentalists are serious, then get on this. I'm not saying you put away solar energy or wind energy or soybean energy or corn energy. I'm not saying put away anything. I'm saying get on this, because this one here can serve every one of us' interest. It's time for us to smarten up. All right, and I think a part of that smartening up process is about recognizing hemp as the source and recognize it as the plant that it is, and get away from this whole image of it that it represents marijuana, because I think that's an obstacle. I mean, it shouldn't be, but but we're dealing with what we're dealing with. See, but I think we really need to seriously look at hemp. Otherwise, it's something I think that's attainable. It's something I think that we can do. But I'm talking about, I'm talking about making it known to the system itself. This is what we want. Not asking them. Not going to the political system asking them, will you support this? Will you include this? Will you support this? No. Going to them and saying, look, this is what we want. And this can be done. This can come, making it known that we want this to happen. And I think that it can happen within a reasonable period of time. But the deal is, but it can only happen by the energy people are willing to put into it. So in my mind, I look at all these all the people that are concerned about climate change, all the people that are concerned about the environment, all the people that talk about alternative energy. I think that if they're serious about what they're talking about, then out of that seriousness, they need to open their conscience a little bit and focus on this, because this is the one that can be used the most. It's the most practical to start with, because you don't need to develop a new technology. It's the most practical to start with. And I'm not talking about that industrial hemp that's legalized in Canada and Europe, all right, because they've doctored the seed so that it can only promote, that it only has a certain amount of strength. See, I'm talking about the natural seeding that grows in Nebraska, that grows in South Dakota, just grows where it grows, that natural hemp that just grows and reseeds itself. Because this seed, this hemp, can make that 50 barrels of oil to an acre. The other one that has industrial acceptance can only make maybe 3 barrels. See, these people, it's about this. It's about energy. And this is an alternative energy. This is the alternative energy that is earth-friendly. So I think that for something that can bring us together, for me, it's the only, our re-evaluation and reconsideration of the importance of energy and the role we play in it. See, that's what can bring us together. None of the rest of it's going to. This one can, because energy, that's at the core of who we are, and it's at the core of what we need.
Anymore. So much older than the day before. Ain't everybody tired of being poor? Graffiti man's got something to say. Message in a scrawl, message on the wall. Something's wrong, not our fault. We gotta be cool, our time will come. Open spaces and shopping center walls. Middle class man, middle class land. Clean enough to be a family affair.